Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Tuesday, February the 27th, 2024, and I would like to welcome you all to This Is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Man, I hope everyone is enjoying their day or will enjoy their day. Before I go any further, hit that like and subscribe button along with that bell icon, as always, so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. There's a lot of interesting topics we're going to talk about, a lot of opinion that I'm going to give. Um, hey, I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on it. So hit that like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you can get notified. Let me know what you think also. Get in that comment section. Hey, I won't bite. I won't bite. Trust me, I won't bite. I heard it all before. Whether you agree or disagree, I've been called many names, many names up under the sun. Okay, I'm okay. I don't get upset, get riled up, and go down. I just don't do that internet beef, that back and forth. There's no banter in it for me. That's my opinion is my opinion, and your opinion is your opinion. It's just that simple. It's not that difficult to understand or comprehend. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. So get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. I still would like to know. Okay. You might say something to change my mind, or you might not. Or I might say something to change your mind, or I might not. That is life. That is life. That is called being an adult. Just is. It's just called being an adult. All right, let's move along here, man. Today's word of the day, turbid, which means cloudy with stirred up sediment. Turbid. Hope everyone, like I said, is enjoying that this week so far. It's Tuesday. We made it through Monday. We just did. So here we are on Tuesday. Well, the sun's not shining here in North Carolina like that. It's just not. We got a little bit of rain. Temperatures are expected to be in the 50s or maybe close to 60, but we're going to get some rain on and off again, showers. But tomorrow the temperatures are going to be in the 70s. That's right. You heard me right. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s, 70 degrees. Right at almost the end of February. I mean, 28th is tomorrow, but this year's a leap year. Maybe that's why we're having all this freakishly odd weather because temperatures are going to get up in the 70s, but it's not going to be sunny. It's going to be raining with some heavy winds. So they're telling people to brace for that. There could be some power outages. All right, Duke Energy, I hope you're on the stick. In the past, you guys haven't really been on the stick too tough. You guys have been looking like a bunch of Johnny come latelys. Can't get it together to save your life. If you notice my harsh tone about Duke Energy, yeah, I'm about fed up with them. Get a third party in here, co-op. Give them some competition. Maybe they'll clean up their act. But yeah, they're saying tomorrow's going to be some heavy winds, of course, rain, but the 70s. That's what threw me in February. Wow, I have no words. I really don't. Uh, this certainly has been the most pleasant February I can remember, and they're saying that it's record breaking as far as the warm temperatures. I can believe it. Like I said, as far as I remember, it has always been cold in February. Just has. That's the sticking point for February. You already know February is going to be cold. January is going to be cold, but February somehow, some way, usually gets bitterly cold, bone chilling. But not so much now. I mean, we haven't had any cool temps since January, the first 2 weeks of January. That was the last time I remember there being some cool temps. Now at night, it dips down into the 30s or 20s, But as far as during the day, it's been like 50 plus, close to 60 some days. We've got to. This has to be a record-breaking mark for February, and I don't need a meteorologist to tell me that. I can see it every day. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy those 70s. But unfortunately, the temperature is going to drop once again after that. For Thursday is going to drop. That's when we're, Tomorrow the temperatures are going to start to decline. Thursday is supposed to be in the 50s with some late night temps in the 30s, and then Friday is supposed to, be in the 50s, close to 60s with some late night temperature drops also. But they're saying the weekend is going to be in the 60s. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Start of March is going to be pleasant. Just is. March is another one of those months. If you know March, those March winds, the old saying, March winds brings, what is that? March winds bring April showers, and April showers bring May flowers. And then comes the heat. Then comes the heat. Just does, just does. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. And I'm going to try to enjoy some of this, I guess, somewhat pleasant weather. I don't know about tomorrow, though. They're predicting, like I said, some heavy winds. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Just will, just will. All right, let's move along here, man. I know you guys have heard about what has happened in Georgia over the weekend with this young 22-year-old nursing student that was out for her morning jog and she was attacked and killed by a Venezuelan illegal. He was here illegally. He's in custody, of course, and he's been charged with murder. Wow. Um, the thing is, and I'm not trying to be funny or arrogant or sounding like I'm conservative or one of those folks that's on that. Uh, I've made it clear, and I've made it clear to you guys numerous times. If you've been listening to This Is Just a Thought, I made it clear to you. I wish no ill will on any human being on this earth. If you have a problem, you have a fight, you have a plight, this is America, of course, the land of the free, home of the brave. Give us your huddled masses, however that thing goes. So I have no quarrels or qualms about some person, people from another country coming to this country. I just don't. But this gentleman here, this Venezuelan illegal, who killed this 22-year-old nursing student who was out for her morning jog. He was here illegally. That we know. And you gotta how we know is a tale within a tale itself. But whatever he did, now we know it has came out that well, they made it known yesterday, and today they're going to release some more details, or they have earlier. They've released some more details as to how she died, but they won't go into great in depth. She was bludgeoned to death, beaten about the head. Whatever he did, and this is as far as I'm going to go. Whatever he did to her, he disfigured her skull. That struck me as just odd, and I got to be honest with you, disgusting and sickening, and any other word or phrases you can say for another human being to beat another human being so badly that the only term they can use to describe is disfigured her skull. Sweet Jesus, this guy's all kind of sick. He just is. Now let's move along here and kind of backtrack. How we now know that he is here illegally is he entered. They're saying he entered the country a year and a half ago along that Texas border. So he came in, he came in, and they determined he didn't have any other legal documentation. No, I want to say he didn't have an ID, but he still was allowed to enter this country and roam about. Let's just be honest with each other. About a year and a half ago, he came in illegally. The country, the United States, the Border Patrol agents, they knew about him. They took down the name he gave, I guess, and he was just pretty much allowed to just roam around the country. Somehow, some way, he made his way to Georgia. Now, before this incident happened, he had a record. He had a record. I guess somehow, some way along the way, either they used the name he gave or they somehow, some way identified him and whatever, what have you. He had a record. Not too sure what the crime was. He was arrested, but he was released. No bail, no bond. No one tried to monitor him, no ankle monitor or nothing like that. He was just released, allowed to roam around about amongst us. So he was released, and now he's been arrested for murder. Also, along with that arrest, they're saying is he and his brother, they were arrested, both let free, but they had fake. Well, the brother had a fake green card, and nothing was done. So you're in this country illegally. They know you're here illegally, but somehow, some way, you're just allowed to roam about, roam free. You get arrested. It's discovered that you have a fake green card, and you're released. And now you have committed a murder. So someone just out doing her daily routine. I understand, like I said, I understand everyone's plight and fight to get up and out of whatever situation they find themselves in their homeland. I have no quarrels with that. I have no. You're not going to get any argument from me. However, the thing that I find most disturbing, and many of you are saying you really shouldn't say it, but I'm just astonished and amazed. And then again, I'm really not how you allow people to come into this country illegally. And you know they are here illegally, and you allow them to just roam about and do whatever the hell they want. But regular citizens like you and I guess someone has to ante up. Someone has to pay. Someone has to be the example. Maybe that's a tool, a mechanism that is used for those that are here illegally. That when you do become legal, you don't screw up like those our old regular citizens. Beware, be weary. Maybe us regular citizens need to be aware and weary of what the hell our country is now doing. Because there's no way in the world you can convince me, I don't care what you're going through in your homeland or native land, you should be allowed to just walk into this country and run amok. No monitoring whatsoever. Just do whatever the hell you want. Commit all the crimes you want, somehow, some way obtain all the false identification you want, and then just be allowed to walk around. I will put this on everything, and I'll say this until the cows come home. Once again, you and I, as regular citizens, there's no way in the world we could get away with foolishness like that. Hell, we get harassed, questioned about having expired identification or driver's licenses. We can't function. We just can't. So my question, the million dollar question for me is to those powers that be, when are you going to start enforcing those laws? Because there's no need to go through this rigmarole of hey, we need to go before Congress and the Senate and come up with some laws and guidelines and boundaries. Those laws are on the book. They've been on the book. Nothing has changed about those laws. So why aren't they being enforced? They aren't being enforced because no one wants to seem as cruel, inhumane, and disrespectful to those that find themselves going through it in their native land. So, in turn, welcome to America. This is America. It just is. Heavens forbid, if you do the right thing and go through the right process, you might be seen as an oddball. I know that sounds crazy, but it apparently it appears that now those the powers that be in our House, Congress, Senate, state representatives, whatever you want to term them, governors, it appears now they're more concerned and more fixated on being a welcoming host country. Show them the American way. We love everyone. Just come on in. I know what you're saying to yourself. Well, that's kind of odd coming from you as a black man. Well, I'm that regular citizen with a driver's license. Heaven forbid I allow it to expire and I go and try to conduct some business, or I get pulled over, or I get stopped while I'm walking, because as we all know, that is a possibility. I'm not gonna sit there and bullcrap you. What do you think will happen to me if I don't have my identification up to par? You want to take a guess, a gander? You don't have to take a guess. You don't have to take a gander. We hear about it all the time. with people that get into it with police officers or law enforcement or try to conduct business in banks or whatever or what have you when their identification has expired. It's not valid. So how in the hell are people just being allowed to come into this country? You know they're here illegally. They can't verify who they are. You can't give them an ID because you don't know who they are. How is it that they're allowed to just come in and walk around carefree and commit crimes? I'm not saying all of those people do that, but one is too many for me. I mean, that's what I've always been taught in life. That one incident is one too many when you find yourself on the wrong side of the law or you're breaking the law. Because, like I said, those laws they're on the book, and if you're this guy was in, he had violations and just well, he didn't even regard the law. He just tore it all to hell. Didn't have to because he knew when he came across that border, he was going to be allowed into the United States anyway. Just did. I got to be honest with you. This is just this is getting out of hand. I'm wondering because hey, sometime earlier this month or last month, those police officers that got into it with those immigrants up there, that by the way, they had possibly, let's not be, they were not possibly, they were bussed in from Texas, possibly, yeah, they were bussed in, got into it with those police officers, ended up beating them up, hurting them, and they were let go also without bond or bail. So where the hell are they? Is that the new norm in this country with how we treat people coming across that damn border when we allow them just to roam around carefree with no, just walk around? Now, like I said, I understand that this is the United States. We welcome any and everyone, but there used to be a time and place that we welcome anyone, and you had to prove who you were, and we had to monitor where you were. You had a certain amount of time to get things done. If you didn't have the right documentation, you were being monitored. Somebody was on you. Maybe it is too many to keep track. But why is it too many to keep track, Steve? Because it's just an open border. It just is. It's an open damn border. You can do whatever you want to. Come in any way you want to. Like I said in the past, I guarantee you, I or you can't just walk ourselves back across that border into Mexico or Canada. We just can't walk ourselves across that border and be welcome and not be monitored. They will be on us so quick it'll make your head spin. So this guy comes into the country, commits two crimes now because we know of one. Like I said, they haven't really said what that crime was, but he was arrested and he was allowed to just walk out of there like those gentlemen up in New York. Maybe I'm maybe I'm not keeping up with the times. Maybe I'm an old fogey, or maybe I'm a sellout because I don't sound like a lot of black people, or maybe I'm just some old grumpy. But there's no way in the world you can convince me. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think about me and what I should or shouldn't think. Because if you know me, you know me. I don't go along with the norm. Don't care to, never have, never will. I think for myself. I'm a free thinker. And this free thinking mind here thinks something needs to be done and something needs to be done real quick with that border because this is it's gonna escalate. It just is. I know a lot of people are saying the conservatives. They're always saying about the criminal element that's coming in, and that's a scare tactic they're using. Not everyone that comes into this country here illegally or without the right documentation is here to commit crimes. You're absolutely correct. But what are you going to do about the ones that are here? We have two separate instances, one in New York with those gentlemen that attacked those police officers. Now we have this gentleman down here in Georgia that attacked this 22-year-old nursing student. We have two separate instances where folks have committed crimes and you allow them just to walk out. You just take whatever name they give you and they walk out amongst us and you don't know where the hell they are until they commit another crime. Then woe is me. Holy moly, would you look at this? Can someone explain? Get in the comment section and let me know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't kept up with the times. Maybe this is the new norm. Maybe we need to be more open and loving and caring to those that are going through such hardships. Maybe. No. Secure that damn border and enforce those laws that are on that book. If they need to be strengthened or redone, then damn it, redo them. Strengthen the laws. Well, continue to, I can't even say continue to enforce the laws. Enforce the laws. If they need to be strengthened, strengthen them. But secure that damn border. You, this thing with being politically correct and being warm and welcoming, you can do both. Your political correctness can be correct by you enforcing the laws that are on the books. That's political correctness to me, not pandering to those that are saying we need to be more warm and opening and understanding. We can do that. We've done that before. Somehow, some way now, you're just allowing people that are here illegally committing crimes that you know are here illegally. You don't have any documentation as to who they are. You allow them to commit crimes and then just have them stand in front of the magistrate for however long, an hour or two, and then you let them out onto the streets again. That's that's unconscionable. That just is. But just like I say, I guarantee you, I'll put this on any and everything. I'll stand 10 toes down on it. Take yourself across that border and see what happens to you. Go on across there. Let your license or ID expire and you try to conduct business. Or you get pulled over and watch what happens to you. Watch how many fines you have to pay. Maybe we're paying fines or all these taxes and fines and fees for those that are that are having these woes and troubles that are seeking asylum and calmness and peace in their life here in the United States. Maybe that's the bill we have to foot as citizens. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It just ain't. I wish I could give you a definitive answer as to why it's going on, like why this is happening, but I can't. I just can't because I don't know. I just don't. I haven't got a clue. I just don't. I just don't. All right, let's move along here, folks. All right, let's go get it. Let's talk a little politics. Very interesting. I told you 2024 and the political landscape was going to be very interesting. Quite humorous also. It just is. Now, this past weekend, Saturday to be more specific, the South Carolina presidential primary was held with former President Donald Trump winning a decisive victory over Nikki Haley in her home state of South Carolina. Two-term governor. She was in President Trump's cabinet as what was she? In his cabinet as a UN ambassador. So there's high hopes. I mean, she's the only one that is left from all of that field of DeSantis, then Swami, Pence, uh, another South Carolina, what was his name, Tim Scott. She's the only one left. She's toughed it out. She just has. But sadly, she lost. President Trump won 59.8% to 39.5% over Nikki Haley. And he's gained 47 more delegates. Nikki Haley, she only got 3 out of her home state. And I gotta say, and if you've been following this, President Trump thus far has swept every state they've held these primaries in. And he's gotten quite a chunk of the delegates. Like I said, he added 47 more Saturday night. Now, his delegate count thus far is 110 to Nikki Haley's 20. He needs 1,215 delegates to win the Republican nomination. He done swept. She's only getting single digits. She's getting single digits in every single state they have been in thus far, which hasn't been many. But if that's an indication, she's gotten single digit delegate counts in every single state they've been in. President Trump has remained in double digits but his delegate count. Mm, 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 man. And if that wasn't enough or a direct slap in the face for presidential hopeful, Republican presidential hopeful Nikki Haley, she's lost some endorsers, her endorsements, her support, her financial support. She lost billionaire Reid Hoffman back in January, and here recent, just Sunday, to be more specific, right after that loss for the primary in her home state, the Americans for Prosperity Action Network, which is backed by billionaire Charles Koch. We've heard that name before. Koch, was it Koch? The Koch brothers. Charles Koch. Oh, sweet Jesus. What was I thinking? Um, they have announced they are no longer going to financially support her. But her campaign says she's going to tough it out. She's going to stick in there until the March 5th election day, which is Super Tuesday. So she's lost two major supporters, billionaires. She's lost two. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So she's lost two billionaire major campaign supporters. And wow, she can't seem to garner enough support and votes with the Republican faithful. Although many of them are saying, "Hey, she's a good person," but I just don't see her as the president of the United States. Which brings up another point, and I keep asking, but I gotta ask again. President Trump has all these legal woes and troubles, so much so they're saying he has like 91 more charges or pending charges or whatever or what have you. What if this guy gets the nomination? Um, I don't know. What if somehow, some way, he gets the nomination? It certainly looks like he's getting ready to get that nomination. I mean, you got to admit. And is there any law or rule on the book that says someone that has been convicted or someone that has some legal troubles and legal woes can't run? No, there isn't. So he very well could win. I mean, run. Well, win the nomination from the Republican Party and run. There's nothing on the books that says he can't do it. He's gotten all the support financially and with the delegates, even though news reports are saying that he's been spending a lot of that campaign funding. A lot of donors have been giving him money that's supposed to be used for his campaign, and he's been spending that fighting off his legal troubles. Hmm. He may be fighting off those damn legal troubles, but it looks like he's looks like he's gonna get that nomination. I'm sorry. Now let's get back to Nikki Haley here because, like I said, she's lost two major campaign donors, billionaires. Like I said, she's going to stick around to. She says she's going to tough it out until Super Tuesday, March 5th. Now, the network has came out with a statement, and it pretty much says it still supports her run for president, but the support would come in the form of words, not cash. Now, a spokesman for the Americans for Prosperity Action Network has released the following statement to the staff in the form of an email. Given the challenges in the primary states ahead, we don't believe any outside group can make a material difference to widen her path to victory. And so, while we continue to endorse her, we will focus our resources where we can make a difference. Mm. So they're pulling the money back. So what are they going to do? If they're saying their support is going to come in the form of words, maybe they're going to come out with this great campaign push and ad where they're going to flood the airwaves, radio and TV, and flood the internet with lovely stories of her. I don't know about that. Even though some of those campaign ads are quite entertaining, they just are. So what they've said? Hey, no more cash. We're just going to We're behind you, just with words, not money. Mm, 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 mm. Wow. So what is she going to do? What can she do? I hope she has enough in her coffers to cover the campaign trail. Well, it is the 27th, and Super Tuesday is next week sometime. So she really only has to toughen it out until then. And then I guess after Super Tuesday, she'll decide whether she stays in or not. Maybe she has enough money she can do that. Highly doubt it. There's been wide talk over the years about how much it costs to just campaign in hopes of getting a nomination, in hopes of winning an election. You got to have a pretty fat purse, pretty deep fat purse. And she ain't got it no more. Wow. So she lost one donor in January, and then she lost after the Saturday's loss in South Carolina. She lost, quite possibly could be the a major donor for anyone that is running under that Republican ticket. You want to keep those Koch brothers with you, don't you? You just do. Now, all right, let's move along here, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Hmm. Now, the odd thing about Saturday was, of course, the odd thing was President Trump wasn't in South Carolina. In fact, he hasn't really been campaigning in South Carolina like that, but he has enough of the support down there that they say, hey, he really doesn't need to be down here. We know who he is, we know what he stands for, and we support him. And they have. Now, he wasn't in campaign, he wasn't in South Carolina Saturday, like I said. Hasn't campaigned much there. He was out of state. He was in a function at another state. And hey, with all of these functions, your primary purpose and only goal is, of course, to raise money and get support. So he was at this function. They never said, or I didn't catch where it was at, but he was in this another state at this function trying to garner the black vote. Everybody comes around election time, don't they? If you've been listening to This Is Just a Thought, you know that's my pet peeve as it relates to how African Americans are viewed with politicians. How we viewed and our vote and our support is just disregarded. It's only needed for us to go to the poll and pull that lever. Or, they used to say pull the lever. There used to be a lever back in the day. Oh, maybe you millennials don't know anything about that. But let's pull that lever and vote and show support for me, whoever's there garnering your vote. So he was at this function. He was at this function trying to garner support from black voters or black Republicans. And I got to be honest with you, he kind of stuck his foot in his mouth. Uh, Again, he stuck his foot in his mouth again, but that's nothing new for President Trump. He doesn't see it as sticking his foot in his mouth. He sees it as telling the truth. Many African Americans have gotten upset and they flat out called his statement or his remarks racist. But like I just said, he all the time is viewed as sticking his foot in his mouth, but he says he's telling the truth. Is he telling the truth with what he said Saturday evening? Yeah, it really is. But I don't know about the comparison. He's telling the truth to an extent as it relates to how black Americans are treated in this country with the judicial system and law enforcement. He is telling the truth with that. I give him that. But I don't know about this little comparison he did where he compared his legal woes and troubles to the way African Americans are treated in this country with law enforcement in the judicial system. Because he said he can see the comparison and he hopes and he honestly believes because somehow, some way, I guess there's a poll out there that's saying that many black Americans or African Americans are now starting to support President Trump also. And he says the reason why they're starting to support him is because his legal woes and troubles with law enforcement is just like theirs. He's been unfairly targeted because of who he is. Wow. Yeah, he said, hey, African Americans are more likely to vote for him over President Biden because of his legal troubles. He feels as though he is being attacked and unfairly targeted because he's not liked who he is. My question, and I want folks to understand when I ask this question, if you have to replay it back, replay it back. The statement he made, is it truthful because of it's the truth, or is it a lie because he's who he is? He does have some legal troubles, legal woes, and I have said myself that some of those these little court cases and accusations, and that is it a criminal act? But is it more of a criminal act, or is it more of something like a financial setback when he we're paying with the lady in New York that he defamed? Is that illegal, or is that more like I guess you would say, like something like a small claims thing? Well, there ain't no small claims because he got to come up out the pocket. Is it that we as African Americans feel as though it is him lying and manipulating once again? Is it because of our feelings, because of how we've been unfairly targeted and treated by the judicial system, or is it really the truth? That all of this that is going on with him and his legal troubles, a majority of those charges are just a witch hunt. Um, as far as it goes with the case in Georgia, with the campaign fraud of him allegedly, well, him we heard the tapes of him on tape trying to get the eternal attorney general to find the votes. And then we find out sometime later that those that supported him were making threats and showing up at the campaign workers' homes and threatening them on the job. That's illegal. But as far as him calling up the attorney general and saying, "Hey, I need some votes," that might be intimidation, but that ain't illegal because he was adamant about finding those votes, and even that adamancy I just heard it as a desperate man trying to win an election. So is that illegal? No. I think those guys making those threats down there to those poll workers, that's illegal. They need to be charged. But can you charge Donald Trump, former President Trump, for that also? He didn't make the damn call, or he didn't show up at the damn folks' house. He did make the call to that attorney general. That I don't know if that's illegal. And we know down in Florida with him, him and those top secret classified documents, we know how that went. That's illegal. I'm sorry, you just can't walk around with classified top secret documents and have them strewn from here to yonder. So with him butting in on that investigation, telling folks to destroy some of the documentation and don't say this and don't say that, yeah, that's illegal. That's hindering an investigation. And up in New York, like I said, he had defamation with the author, and then the fraud charges that came up with him and his business dealings and him deflating the cost of his property and real estate. Yeah, I gather that's illegal. But then again, what do I know? So my question is again, is what he said truthful, or is it just another politician reaching? I don't know how we can compare and contrast with him and him being with all his legal woes and troubles, and compare it with black people that are just living day to day, trying to make a living, trying to get through life, minding their own, and they find themselves in some legal troubles unwarranted. I just don't know if that is a strong enough comparison, and it isn't for me because yours is, yeah, you're not liked. Get it, got it. But the thing with that is, at any point in time, You could turn all of that around. You've done it once before. As it relates to African Americans and their legal troubles and woes, we can't turn that around because a lot of times we know, and this is not some little talking point for some pro-black or some Democratic party function. We know that while we're targeted, while we're suspect, I live it every day, 50 years on this earth. I mean, I just do. We're targeted because of the color of our skin. You're being targeted because you're not liked because of the things you've said and done in the past. And all you got to do is turn that around. Because one thing that comes to my mind over and over and over again as it relates to President Trump and his now found conservative, guy used to be a Democrat, donating money to many a Democratic politicians, the Clintons, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, congressmen and senators and representatives in New York, in New Jersey. I used to be a Democrat. So you can turn around at any given moment. I can't change who I am. I can't change my skin color. Well, now I can. I can bleach it. What the hell's going on with that? But that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another day. It just is. So I don't rightfully, I can't fully say, yeah, I agree with him. I guess I got to be honest with you. I really don't. I just don't think there's a, you can't compare your legal woes and troubles with that of regular degular African American or Black American in this country. You just can't. You just can't, man. Very entertaining though. It was. When I heard it, I got to be honest with you. I laughed like nobody's business. I laughed like a little kid that was being tickled by someone. I just did. I just did. It was hilarious to me. He's very entertaining. But I don't know about. I can't give you that, former President Trump. I just can't. I just can't. And I offer no apologies for it. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to skedaddle. And as always, I want to thank you all for lending me your ears this morning. Continue to support and share. Get in that comment section. Let me know what you think, what you're feeling with illegal immigration and securing that border, with President Trump winning these primaries like that and getting all the delegate votes. Is he going to go back in? Is he going to be able to run again, even with all his legal troubles? Well, he's winning in every state. And is there a clear or concise or a comparison to be made between the legal troubles and woes he has as it relates to black people starting to maybe quite possibly fill him and vote for him? Because they're one and the same. Hey, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. I just can't. So get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for listening to This Is Just a Thought with Stephen Cornegay. Amen.